Okay, chapter 14, A Rider's Blade. Wait a second. No, this chapter is this thick. You don't. It doesn't seem very thick to the camera, but look, it's like 8 pages. No. Oh. Anguish enveloped Eragon as he awoke. Though he kept his eyes closed, they could not stop a fresh flow of tears. He searched for some idea or hope to help him keep his sanity. "I can't live with this," he moaned. "Then don't." Saphira's words reverberated in his head. "How? Garo is gone forever, and in time I must meet the same fate. Love, family, accomplishments, they're all torn away, leaving nothing. What is the worth of anything we do? The worth is in the act. Your worth halts when you surrender the will to change and experience life. But options are before you. Choose one and dedicate yourself to it. The deeds will give you new hope and purpose. But what can I do? The only true guide is in your heart. Nothing less than its supreme desire can help you." No, it's in your brain. Your heart doesn't do anything. Why do they keep writing that in books and movies and stuff? It's really annoying. She left him to ponder her statements. Eragon examined his emotions. It surprised him that, more than grief, he found a searing anger. "What do you want me to do? Pursue the strangers?" "Yes." Her frank answer confused him. He took a deep, trembling breath. "Why?" "Remember what you said in the spine? How you reminded me of my duty as dragon, and have returned with you despite the urging of my instincts? So too must you control yourself. I thought long and deep the past 3 days, and I realized what it means to be dragon and rider. It is our destiny to attempt the impossible, to accomplish great deeds regardless of fear. It is our responsibility to the future." "I don't care what you say. Those aren't reasons to leave," cried Eragon. "Then here are others. My tracks have been seen, and people are alert to my presence. Eventually I will be exposed. Besides, there's nothing for you here. No farm, no family, and—" "Roran's not dead," he said vehemently. "Ooh, apples. But if you stay, you have to explain what really happened. He has a right to know how and why his father died. What might he do once he knows of me?" Saphira's arguments swirled around in Eragon's head, but he shrank from the idea of forsaking Palancar Valley. It was his home, yet the thought of enacting vengeance on the strangers was fiercely comforting. How am I strong enough for this?" "You have me." Doubt besieged him. It would be such a wild, desperate thing to do. Contempt for his indecision rose. A harsh smile danced on his lips. Saphira was right. Nothing mattered anymore except the act itself. The doing is the thing, and what would give him more satisfaction than hunting down the strangers? A terrible energy and strength began to grow in him. It grabbed his emotions and forged them into a solid bar of anger with one word stamped on it: revenge. His head pounded as he said with conviction, "I will do it." He severed the contact with Saphira and rolled out of bed. His body tensed like a coiled spring. It was nearly morning. He had only slept a few hours. Nothing is more dangerous than an enemy with nothing to lose, he thought. Which is what I have become. Except you have Saphira to lose. Roaring to lose. I think he still cares about Carbajal and the villagers. So, you know, you've got a lot to lose. And, so far you don't have her to lose yet, but you will at some point later on. Mm. Yesterday he had difficulty walking upright, but now he moved confidently, held in place by his iron will. That's not how will works. The pain in his body sent him was defied and ignored. That's how it works. As he crept out of the house, he heard the murmur of two people talking. Curious, he stopped and listened. Elaine was saying in her gentle voice, place to stay. We have room, Horse answered in an um, inaudibly in his brass rumble. Yes, yes, the poor boy, replied Elaine. This time, Eragon could hear Horse's response. Maybe. There was a long pause. I've been thinking about what Eragon said, and I'm not sure he told us everything. What do you mean? What do you mean? Asked Elaine. There was concern in her voice. When we started for their farm, the road was scratched smooth by a horse dragged Eragon. Then we reached a place where the snow was trampled and churned on. His footprints and signs of the board stopped there, but we also saw the same giant tracks from the farm. And what about his legs? I can't believe he didn't notice losing that much skin. I didn't want to push him for answers earlier, but now I think I will. Maybe what he saw scared him so much he doesn't want to talk about it, suggested Elaine. You saw how distraught he was. That still doesn't explain how he managed to get Darrow nearly all the way here without leaving any tracks. Saphira was right, thought Eragon. It's time to leave. Too many questions for too many people. Sooner or later, they'll find the answers. Need more apple. I'll finish the apple before the next video, but you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And I don't like doctors. If you're a doctor, no offense. Um, he continued through the house, tensing whenever the floor creaked. The streets were clear. Few people were up at this time of day. He stopped for a minute and forced himself to focus. I don't need a horse. Spear will be my steed, but she needs a saddle. She can hunt for both of us, so I don't need to worry about food. Though I should get some anyway. Whatever else I need, I can find buried in our house. He went to Gedrick's tanning vats on the outskirts of Carvajal. The vile smell made him cringe, but he kept moving, heading for a shack set into the side of the hill where the cured hides were stored. He cut down 3 large ox hides from the rows of skins hanging from the ceiling. The thievery made him feel guilty, but he reasoned, it's not really stealing. I'll pay Gedrick back someday, along with Horse. He rolled up the thick letter and took it to the stand of trees away from the village. He weighed the hides between the branches of a tree, then returned to Carvajal. Now for food. He went to the tavern, intending to get it there, but then smiled tightly in reverse direction. If he was going to steal, it might as well be from Sloane. He sneaked up to the butcher's house. The front door was barred whenever Sloane was not there, but the side door was secured with only a tin chain. When his hands came upon the hard piles of meat wrapped in cloth, he stuffed as many as he could um, under his shirt, and hurried to the street and furtively closed the door. Our good guy is stealing! Good guy! Just because the guy angered him! Good guy! A woman shouted. He stuffed as many as he could under his shirt, then hurried back to the street and furtively closed the door. A woman shouted his name nearby. He clasped the bottom of his shirt to keep the meat from falling out and then ducked behind a corner. He shivered as Horse walked between 2 houses not 10 feet away. Eragon ran as soon as Horse was out of sight. His legs burned as he pounded down an alley and back to the trees. He slipped between the tree trunks and turned to see if he was being pursued. No one was there. Relieved, he let out his breath and reached into the tree for the letter. It was gone. Going somewhere? Eragon whirled around. Broom scowled angrily at him, an ugly wound on the side of his head. A short sword hung at his belt in a brown sheath. The hides were in his hands. Eragon's eyes narrowed in irritation. How had the old man managed to sneak up on him? Everything had been so quiet. He would have sworn that no one was around. Give them back, Give them back, he snapped. Why? So he can run off before Garrow's even buried? The accusation was sharp. It's none of your business, he barked, temper flashing. Why did you follow me? I didn't, grunted Broom. I've been waiting for you here. Now where are you going?
Nowhere!
That's his voice, not the other one. Eragon lunged for the skins and grabbed them from Broom's hand. Broom did nothing to stop him. I hope you have enough meat to feed your dragon. Eragon froze.
What are you talking about?
Broom crossed his arms. Don't fool with me. I know where the mark on your hand. I know where that mark on your hand, the gateway in Ignacia, the shining palm, comes from. You have touched the dragon hatchling. Wait, how did Broom know that it was on his right hand? I mean, what if the dragon like touched him on his foot or something? What if it was on his left hand? I know why you came to me with those questions. I know that once more the riders live. Eragon dropped the letter and me. It's finally happened. I have to get away. I have to run faster than him with my injured legs. But if... Saphira, he called. A few agonizing seconds she did not answer. But then, yes? We've been discovered. I need you. He sent her a picture of where she was, and she took off immediately. Now he just had to stall Broom. How did you find out?
How did you find out?
He asked in a hollow voice. Broom stared into the distance and moved his lips soundlessly, as if he were talking to someone else. Then he said, there were clues and hints everywhere. I had only to pay attention. Anyone with the right knowledge could have done the same. Tell me, how is your dragon? She, said Eragon, is fine. We weren't at the farm when the strangers came. Ah, your legs. You were flying? How did Broom figure that out? What if the strangers coerced him into doing this? Maybe they want him to discover where I'm going, so they can ambush us. And where's Saphira? He reached out with his mind and found her circling far ahead. Oh, by the way, coerce is to making a willing person do something with threats or force. I learned that in English class. Okay. And where's Saphira? He reached out with his mind and found her circling far overhead. Come. No, I will watch. Why? Because of the slaughter at Doroariba.
What?
Broom leaned against a tree with a slight smile. I have talked with her, and she has agreed to stay above us until we settle our differences. As you can see, you really don't have any choice but to answer my questions. Now tell me, where are you going? Bewildered, Eragon put his hand to his temple. How could Broom speak to Saphira? The back of his head throbbed. The ideas whirled through his mind, but he kept reaching the same conclusion. He had to tell the old man something. He said,
I was going to find a safe place to stay while I heal.
And after that? The question could not be ignored. The throbbing in his head grew worse. It was impossible to think. Nothing seemed clear anymore. All he wanted to... Oh, shoot.